Borneo. Even the word itself sounds mysterious. Since I was a kid, I imagined it as a dark, strange, hidden place. I fantasized that I would go exploring there someday. But to be honest, I was afraid. And that's why I needed to go. I heard about a harvest festival that the Dayak tribes hold in eastern Borneo along the mighty Mahakam River, and I decided this would be my chance to take the leap. But the location is extremely remote and there are very few roads. It takes days of big planes, small planes, and many, many boats to get there. Boats on no fixed schedule, traveling up dangerous rapids to a tiny village with no phones or internet and just occasional electricity. Along the way, I find shelter in one-horse way stations. When I finally arrive in the village, everyone is buzzing about. They're surprised to see me, but they seem tickled by it. I'm quickly invited into a private home to watch the preparations. I couldn't call in advance, and I have nowhere to stay. I'm told there are no rooms available because the surrounding villages are all convening here for the big event. I'm the only tourist in town, so it's lucky I speak Indonesian. After a day schmoozing over quantities of palm liquor, someone kindly offers me a place to sleep on their floor. The Dayak women from each village wear beaded fabrics in colors that represent their contingents. The men wear costumes made of shredded areca palm leaves, crowned with carved wooden masks. They practice a hypnotic dance, stomping their legs and flapping their arms like a weird, flightless bird. Then the procession begins as everyone marches toward the big open field at the center of the village. For 3 days and 3 nights, I witnessed more than I could ever have expected. In the late morning heat, the dancing begins. As a composer, I'm fascinated by the array of instruments, including bronze gongs, animal skin drums, and a guitar-like instrument called the sape. Most of Borneo is part of Indonesia, where I've been a frequent visitor for the past 20 years. But I usually stay on the island of Bali with its Hindu culture and modern conveniences, a world away from all this. Being this far upriver, there are still many long-eared Dayak women. They elongate their earlobes gradually over many years, using more and more metal rings. Their hands and feet are decorated with symbolic green tattoos. The younger generation have mostly shunned this tradition, so every year, fewer long-eared women can be found. When I ask people what religion they are, they tell me the whole village is Catholic, at least in name. True, there's a church. There are crosses here and there. But I never met Catholics like this before. It makes sense that although much of Borneo is Muslim, only the zealotry of Catholic missionaries could penetrate this isolated outpost. Here come the tribal spears and shields, as the men wearing vests made of tree bark carry a giant effigy of the Hudoq deity. Hudoq is a kind of farm pest, be it a bird or a bug, which they are trying to keep away from their crops by honoring it in a harvest festival. By noon, the sun is hurting my head and the main event begins. Everyone stomps around the field in a counterclockwise circle. The drum beat becomes simpler, more primal. People spontaneously break into chants and songs. They play a sport called gasing, in which one man uses a cord to spin a wooden top, and others try to whip their own top to knock it down. To keep everyone fed, some older men in feathered rattan hats grill hundreds of portions of lemang, made of glutinous rice and coconut milk, stuffed inside culms of bamboo. The two big drums control the rhythm now. Each is a huge hollowed-out tree trunk covered in skin, accompanied by two bronze gongs. Together they create a two-bar phrase repeated endlessly. Each bar puts the accent in a different place, creating a hitch in the beat that's perfect for stomping. I get roped into joining in the big stompathon. I must look ridiculous out of costume and out of step. But if it amuses them, I'm okay with it. What festivities would be complete without a reenactment of a wild boar hunt? And that poor pig really gets speared. Many women sport mustaches and beards in a surprising display of gender swapping. Some men also play along, wearing makeup and traditional dresses, marching in the women's contingents. And then, after a drenching rain, night falls. They must be exhausted. I know I am, but the circle dance continues without pause. Around they go, stomping, chanting, shrieking with joy. But the darkness changes everything. Somehow it no longer seems like real life. I've become Max from where the wild things are, dropped into a dream world, equally unsettling and magical. When the sun comes up, I think this must surely be the end. But no, it all continues well past sunrise. After a short break, it starts again. For another full day and night. And then the next day, again, round and round to the same beat. Why do they do it? It's then I realize these are not the same people circling the field that they were on the first day. They've been transformed through ritual, through catharsis. They've entered a new kind of mind, a sort of trance. They did this together as a group, as a community, and it's seriously trippy. Finally, it winds down. Everyone puts their costumes in storage till next year. I find myself back in cold reality, needing to retrace all my steps to get back down river. But things look a little different this time, because I've changed. For one thing, I'm not afraid anymore. And I believe that someday I'll pass this way again.